Food on the table and some hope. This store, run by the clergy in northern Italy, is helping some of these men and women who have been out of work for weeks. They've been living through the world's longest and some of the toughest lockdown measures.
I come here because I don't know how to cope. I have no savings, I don't earn anything. The situation gets worse and worse. I can't do anything but come here.
Things are even worse for some of the 600,000 undocumented, mostly African migrants, who barely found enough work to survive before the outbreak.
No food, nothing. I have 3 children with my husband. Nothing. I don't have documents. Document is not good. I need help.
Italy has endured the worst of the coronavirus outbreak in Europe, with the highest number of deaths in the region. And now, with a fall in the daily number of infections and deaths, the government is allowing factories, construction projects and parks to reopen starting on Monday, putting 4 million people back to work. But with a limited easing of restrictions has come a surge of anger from people, barely coping under the strain of a pandemic and its economic cost.
We've been responsible in staying at home for the last 2 months. For 2 months, Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte has been the only one speaking and making decisions. Social problems are growing, also because many of the promises the government made have not materialized.
On Friday, Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte apologized on social media for the hardships Italians have endured and promised new measures for aid and economic recovery. But even before the pandemic, Italy had one of the highest unemployment rates in the European Union and a large government debt. And now, the Eurozone's third biggest economy is facing a deep recession.
I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Italy to recover from the pandemic, in part because its economic performance has been so poor over the past 2 decades. It hadn't yet recovered from the 2008-9 financial crisis and the Eurozone crisis of 2010-12. And indeed, Italians are scarcely richer than they were 20 years ago when their country joined the euro. And that means that the underlying performance of the economy, even in good times, is weak.
During the difficult weeks of the pandemic, Italians have relied on each other to support the many who have been struggling. There are fears that those hardships may continue if Italy's fragile economy doesn't recover soon. Priyanka Gupta, Al Jazeera.